Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Season 4. It's finally here. Season 4 of RSF1, and for the season, I'm Primus Gaming. I'm going to be your main commentator of the season, unless anything happens with me. But for today, it's not my permanent partner. You'll find out who that will be properly on Sundays. But for today, filling in for my absent partner is an old friend of mine, Vettel SF71. How you doing, mate?
Hello, mate. We're in Australia. It's known for its dangerous animals and some great racing tracks. I think Bathurst is a very good event. If you want to get drunk, especially.
I was going to say, like as you said, known for its animals. They've not had any. You know, like how in Canada they've got gophers and all that, and Austria they had the deer, you know, the famous oh dear moment. You know, we've not had any of that on this track yet. And I'm going to say yet because I didn't think Bahrain would get stopped because of a flipping dog. But, you know, new stuff happens.
Yeah, I might see some of this year with, obviously, I believe if they are going to run this race, there'll be no crowds at all.
Which will be a bit of a shame because I think the one thing the Australian people would like to do is cheer on, obviously, their fellow countryman, Danny Ricciardo, especially going to the Mercedes-powered McLaren now, which it feels weird saying because I've been used to them with a Renault power unit.
Yeah, me too. I was a little sad when they got rid of Honda because obviously the words McLaren and Honda do mix quite well, especially in your mind when you think back to the 80s and early 90s.
I just think at the time, I think what went wrong for McLaren was first of all, like no disrespect to Fernando Alonso, I think he was a top driver, but because he was trying his best to get everything out of the car, I think that with the fact that they had a brand new power unit that hasn't been in the sport for a while, in such a strict era, I think that they might have been demanding too much from the car, which was just causing constant problems.
Yeah, the engine obviously was quite underpowered, and the chassis was aerodynamically unstable, so there was turbulent air feeding in from the bottom of the diffuser, which isn't what's meant to happen.
And before we go back onto those interesting topics of the upcoming season of real-life Formula 1, we actually have a load of new drivers and some old ones return for Season 2. Sorry, not Season 2. Season 4. God, I'm already losing it. RSF1 Cookies, the first one. So, we've got a couple of returning faces. We've got BF1 Racer, formerly known as RSF1 Verstappen. We've got Magic Marks, the Season 1 Drivers' Champion. And we've got Josh S04, who has made a return. Grunty, formerly known as Gruntastrophe, has changed his name. RF1S Michael is formerly known as RSF1 Brundle. He changed his name.
All waiter.
Also, I'd like...
All waiter. I believe
All
you
waiter,
that.
yeah. Braver Container, filling in as reserve for LR Evo. RS Moronics, filling in as reserve for Brutal Reapers. It's also very good to welcome back RS Moronics to RSF1. Good to see an old name. He's the F3 Season 1 champion. But then a couple of new faces on the grid. I mean, we got Sync Saiju, actually the first female driver on the grid for Division 2 since the start. So, you know, things are changing. Trying to make things more, better for equality around the world, everywhere. I think actually got a couple of drivers from lower divisions come up and some from higher divisions come down. If I recall, Dangerous Dan was formerly a Division 1 driver.
I should know this, but I don't remember. I thought he was a Division 3. I know GSL 94 has come up from Division 3, though. I think he was champion. I believe you were talking about RF1S Michael. He invalidated his lap.
I'm going to need an invite back. I think the Xbox servers aren't being too great to me. I know parties have been absolutely god awful. And I spoke to a couple of people before beginning the stream just to make sure everything was okay. And everyone said I sounded good, so the parties were all right. I've made sure my connection's all good. Everything's running perfectly optimal. I don't know what's going on. If anyone can someone please invite me back to the lobby, because I can't really commentate on the main menu. Right. Hello, chat. Let's see if we can see a few people in chat. I know got 30 viewers. Apologies on this. Everything just decided to just die on me, so... can anyone invite me from the lobby, please? Or Vettel, if you're able to, can you throw me an invite? Can anyone invite me, please? Apologies on this, just waiting for an invite. Right, finally, finally got an invite. As a little bit frustrating there, because I was waiting. Vettel, can you still hear me? Ah, great. Right, something just happened to the party. Lost Vettel. Right, well, we're back in the lobby anyways. So some results have been pushed out. JJ Hudson on pole, 120.2. Stygian, 120.2 as well, but just 1,000th of a second shy of getting a 120.3. Lil Sparks is in third. Muddy Biscuit fourth. The season 3 runner-up of the championship. FF Armalan 5th, Josh S04 Season 4 in 6th, Grunty 7th, Braver Container is in 8th, Will Spur is 9th, Dangerous Dan, and the rest underneath Dangerous Dan have yet to set qualifying lap times. Speaking of Dangerous Dan, second to last corner. He had really good pace when it came to the social, challenging Mr. Pigeon Munch possibly for the race win. What can Dangerous Dan do, especially after showing that performance? Goes P3 at 120.3, so very good overall. For some reason, that's showing a purple track map, which means the fastest lap, but he's currently in P3. Unless that's his, like, a personal best, I don't know. We lost Sync Saiju, so someone will need to invite her back. RSF1 Vettel. I've not seen anything from him in the chat, which is odd, because normally he's hammering me. He normally likes to have a little bit of a laugh. And speaking of Vettel, we got Vettel SF71 back. You alright, mate? Hey, Vettel, you still there, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing just died for a second. It kicked me from the game, it terminated the party, terminated the stream. Everything seems hunky-dory right now.
Yeah, it happened to me.
As I said that, RSF on Vettel pops up in the chat. Right, so quite a lot has happened since I've been gone. Some of your fellow drivers, Stygian, Stygian's gone P3 because I know he's joined you with the McLaren team for this season. Obviously, he's in the Division 2 lot, you're in the Division 1 lot. But yeah, it looks like Stygian's doing pretty good. How are you feeling for yourself and the McLaren team for the season, by the way, Vettel?
Well, I think we've got quite a good team, I reckon, especially Division 2. I think someone like Muddy Biscuit and Stygian's going to score a lot of points this season. Stygian's very fast, same with Muddy. Muddy is extremely consistent, not getting a single penalty all season. I mean, that is just very impressive, in my opinion. Division 1, hopefully I can bring some points back, but expect a lot of spins though. Oh, there's been a crash with the racing point in the Haas on the main straight. I think it was.
Wait,
Lukey.
There's been contact between the two?
Yeah, between Lukey and RSF1 Cookie.
Could you check the race director? I think I'm like, that notification bug where you have to pause the game and unpause it to see it. Has there been a 5-place grid penalty? Because it happens when there's been contact.
No, surprisingly enough.
That's very merciful of the game. Normally it's very brutal.
Oh yeah, definitely. It likes to hand out penalties for some reason, but quite lucky to get away with it.
RSF on Vettel, Wagwan, Primus and teammate.
Yeah, Wagwan.
RSF on Vettel says, me and other Vettel are fast as well, but spin quite often, so that's the main issue, and he sent 4 thumbs up emojis.
Yeah, I think I did a calculation. I had 37 spins last season, I think. Including qualifying, obviously.
Oh! The Season 3 champion has graced us with his presence in the chat. Steerage. He says, best of luck, guys. Good to hear from you, mate. Good to see you're doing all right. And obviously, once again, congratulations on being the Season 3 champion for the Tango squad. Hippo, how are you both doing? I'm doing pretty good. Vettel?
Yeah, I'm doing very good at the moment.
I just noticed something, Vettel, and I do like to see this, especially for the season opener. We've got a full grid.
Indeed we do. Most tiers, I imagine, will be full on the first week. Obviously, it's the start of a new season. Everyone's extremely excited to see where they're going to be.
BF1 Racer is on a really good lap right now. He's just got the fastest second sector. I'm not aware of how his performance was in the first sector. Pushing his way through into turn 15.
I do believe BF1 Racer is a no assist user.
So we could see a really good lap from him. He had really good pace in the social. 20 dead! Ooh. Now that's a lap.
Yeah, it's a very good lap to start off the bank. I imagine that'll probably get a BF1 Racer through. I'm expecting mid-19s though by Q3.
Yeah, I think that's realistic, especially the performance he was pushing out on that social. If he doesn't achieve a 119, I would be very surprised. For the debut, mate, 46 views so far. We've got 46 viewers.
Indeed we do.
That's crazy. Thank you very much, everyone. I was just on board with Celine, as she was the only driver on the grid to have not set a flying lap yet. She was on her out lap, caught the infamous turns 11 and 12 chicane, and unfortunately, as she caught the curb, it sent her car into an oversteery spin, hit the wall. Fortunately, no major damage. She has got a broken wing, but she can get the car back to the pits, slap on a new set of tyres, and she has enough time to go back and do another lap. But for the Haas team, well, for her at least, she just needs to make sure she just gets back to the pit, and she'll be alright. But sadly, no lap for her as of yet.
Yeah, Haas were the original Team Constructors champion, weren't they, in Season 1? Or was that just Season 2 onwards?
I think that might have been season 1, actually.
I know they definitely won it Season 1 with Unity Hush and IGN Legends in Division 1.
Well, the one team actually that's going to be looked at all over the divisions for all of RSF1 this season will be the Alfa Romeo, because I think for the past 2 seasons they've dominated the overall constructors.
Yeah, indeed have. I won the Constructors Championship with them in the 2nd season, but I do believe they won it again in Season 3. Yeah,
so they've dominated the entire grid out of all the teams and divisions in RSF1, you know, the overall constructors. So people are going to be gunning for them. In Division 4, they secured the drivers and the constructors. They've had very consistent drivers in their teams over the course of the whole season. So Alfa Romeo have actually been a pretty strong team as a whole in RSF1 since as far as I can remember.
Yeah, well, currently we have an Alfa Romeo sat on pole position, so I don't expect it to not carry on again this season.
But with the shift around of so many strong drivers, it'd be hard to say who's going to get the constructors this season. But if BF1 Racer and J Slee can pull out a good result, that'll be a strong start for the overall constructors as well as the F2 Constructors Championship. You know, a very nice start to go on with leading it.
Yeah, that's the aim for most of the teams, I think. Try and get the Constructors Championship.
Some would just like to finish, I think, you know, as an accomplishment from either being moved up or anything like that, is get a race in and just get some good points home.
Yeah, a little bit of a shock for me at the moment is seeing Grunty down in 18th. I mean,
And JJ Hudson, improves to 3rd. She's now finally managed to get around Vettel. Would you like to take it away with Sync Saiju?
sure thing. Shifting into 8th gear with the horrific sound of a Ferrari engine. Braking extremely late into turn 1, taking not as much curb as I would normally expect, but struck up while hitting the DRS. Taking quite a wide entry into the corner, braking extremely late, going a little bit wide, not short, shifting up to 3rd. Not taking a little bit of cover on the inside, the front wing washing slightly, but still a very nice sector 1, which it will be a 26.97. Going through here, taking the curb, taking a nice amount of exit. Curb, going through here, keeping as tight to the yellow line as possible. Now braking about the 50-meter board, straight back onto the power, and then it's obviously the most dangerous section of the track, which is the fast left right-hander, and it will catch out a lot of drivers, I think, today. Got using 6th gear there. Yeah, having to lift off quite heavily through there, and a lap is invalid.
She invalidated on the last moment. Also, we lost a Mercedes, I think, through terminal damage. That was Braver Container. So, currently right now, Celine, unless she can get herself some quick charge, she can go back around and just get a lap in. But look at the gap between the time in 17th. Ooh, gets pole at 19.9.
Yeah.
And Michael gets 2nd. Right, back on board again with Celine, as she did have enough time to get on for another lap. So this is her last chance now to try and accumulate a high starting position for Q2. Well, hopefully to even get into Q2. So let's keep an eye on what she can do. She's passed through the first sector, and right now it's still looking quite good. Not the fastest first sector, so baseline what she's set. There's a slow-moving Red Bull. That's JJ Hudson, who's fallen down to 7th. So far, so good, but she's got a lot of traffic in the way.
Grunty is 2 tenths up at the moment. Going very wide and invalidating his lap, so Grunty is out.
Oh. Through turns 11 and 12.
Invalid.
Celine invalidates! Oh, she's not going to be happy with that. And I found out Lee's also driving with no traction control, so it will take him time to learn. But tell you what, for someone who's learning traction control, P6 in Division 2, that's not a bad shout.
Yeah, not bad at all. The bottom 5 is decided now. Grunty cannot improve, and neither can Celine.
Or Michael.
Celine.
I know of Celine. I mean, everyone goes with that because she changes the game attack a lot, so it's hard to really pin a name on what to call her. Muddy Biscuit gets 5th place, Stygian 10th, so McLaren done pretty good. However, the drivers that are out of the session is Sync Saiju, Braver Container, Grunty, Will Spur, and Moronics. So that is your drivers out of the session. Vettel, shall we interview Celine on her performance in Q1?
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah, if you can chuck her an invite. If she doesn't respond, then we'll throw one to Gruntastrophe.
I can't beat having Grunty in the party.
Hmm?
Can't be having Grunty in the party.
Miss 6,000 gamer tags, Easton says. So that is your qualification for the top 3, with Sparks in 1st, Michael 2nd, and BF1 Racer in 3rd. And your drivers out of Q1 is Sync Saiju, Braver Container, Grunty, Will Spur, and Moronics. And Celine, welcome to the comms box. Make sure you've got your audio included. So just a quick interview with you while Q2 is about to get underway. Obviously today hasn't started off really good for you. You had a bit of a problem with the turn 11 and 12 chicane. You had your first spin. Luckily, no major damage, so you could get the car back to go back again for a lap. But it seems like you don't really like that chicane today.
I think it's just down to the. I was trying to take as much road as I could, and on the exit curb, I don't know why it invalidates you if you go on the exit curb too much. I think if you hit the grass, then maybe yeah. But it's a bit strict on that exit curb, and I tried to take it, and it just didn't work out for me. But other than that, I think with the Sector 1 and Sector 2 times, I think I would have been in Q2. But I just couldn't put the lap in.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was a bit hard for you as well, because when luckily you had time at the end there, when you invalidated on your second to last lap, you had like 20 seconds to get to the line, and you luckily had hit the second to last corner, so you had that time.
Yeah.
But during your final lap before the invalidation, you actually had a lot of traffic. Did that like affect your concentration?
It did a little bit. I kind of tried to, because obviously when you get traffic, you're having to look at where they're going to go before you put your car there. So I'm having to watch them as much as watch myself. And but also I'm just learning the wheel. Like I've only had this wheel for like 3 weeks. So I've gone from, so that's, I used to be Div 1, but now I'm in Div 2. But, you know, I like it here. I like all this. And it's just a learning curve, honestly.
That's
yeah,
why
exactly. There's no judgments. I mean, a load of people are still learning. Like Celine, he's now running no traction. That's not an easy thing to master.
Yeah, it's not.
Obviously, as you said, transitioning from pad to wheel, that is a really, really big change. Especially for some tracks.
I was looking good for this. I had a 19.6 in my TT, so I was okay with it. But just I couldn't put it together in the quali because I just kept making the same mistake. So.
How are you finding the Haas car?
Yeah, you beat me to it.
It's a bit. The rear end is really loose. Like the car just doesn't like to stick to the track. A bit like the Ferrari, they both don't like to stick to the track. So I'm morely fighting the car than actually racing at this point. During those laps, I don't know if you could see it, but when I was going into corners, I was going quite deep because I was just fighting the car going around corners. So
Who do you feel like? Because sadly now you're going to have to watch the rest of qualifying, as I know you'd like to have been driving. But who do you feel? Because you've got a couple of people that were Division 1 drivers with you.
Yeah.
Have come down from there. Who do you think's going to be on real contention for maybe a podium or even the win? Because you never know. We've seen races run from the back. You might even get a podium today.
Yeah,
what are you thinking is your top three?
I'm thinking, I'm going to put my teammate up there. Like, Cookie's going to win it. Purely. Dangerous Dan, I think he's got some really good pace, especially being isn't he the reigning champion of Div 3? Pretty sure.
I think he was a Div 3 champion.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the Div 3 champ, so he obviously has some pace naturally to come up here. He's got like high momentum as well. Anyone else? Stygian?
Oh my god! Sorry about that. On board with
car.
Magic Marks, and there was literally a Red Bull with no wheels.
Oh dear.
It was just the pod of the car with no tyres in the middle of the track. Fortunately, Marks didn't hit it, but that really did affect his lap. Sorry, Celine, carry on.
Jace Lee's a good option. I know he's learning no traction, so he's not going to be as consistent as he usually would be. But I think he has some pace to go up there and fight with people for a podium. But yeah.
Rightio, we'll let you carry on then. I know sadly it's not a good start to the season that you'd hope, but it's only the first race. You still got the Grand Prix ahead of you and the rest of the season to go. Hopefully you have a little bit of a better luck going into the Grand Prix. But thank you very much for joining us, Celine. Vettel, did you have any questions for her before we let her go?
I think we covered everything there.
Rightio, well, have a good one, Celine. And you never know,
you.
we might speak to you in the podium.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, have a good race. There we go. Thank you very much to Celine for joining us. And now back to Q2. Other than the really, as you heard to my surprise, the stranded Red Bull in the middle of the track, obviously caught out by the infamous turned 11 and 12. He got caught out by that end curb, by the looks of it. Another driver has fallen victim to it, which... There's no judgment. Drivers of all skill sets, including in the virtual Grand Prix, have been caught out by that chicane.
Yeah, I believe Thibaut Courtois was caught by it, wasn't he? You know, the Belgian goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah. I don't really follow too much football, unfortunately, so... I used to, but then I got more into motorsport, and then... football sort of got pushed to the side for me, and cars became more of my passion.
Yeah, I don't mind watching some Bundesliga.
Stygian, still on pole at the moment, but... there you
mind.
go. Beer from Racer back on top again of the table with a 120.0, pretty similar to his Q1 time. But not many people are choosing to take the gamble for medium compound tyres. Michael is one of the only... Oh, no, Lukey is actually on a lap. Let's go on board with Lukey in the Racing Point, my former team.
Not using maximum revs, so...
Oh, he's
maybe
not.
not taking the laps. No, definitely not.
He seems like he's driving carefully.
Yeah, look, that's the way it looks to me. Personally, mediums are completely useless at this track unless you're going to do this top to medium strategy. But most of the time there's a safety car, so it's kind of pointless starting on them.
I imagine he's probably warming himself up then, but that's not going to do good for his battery load if he's left it on mode 2.
No?
But
Lukey's out of fuel.
oh! That ain't good. So we'll have to go on board with Michael then, who's now doing his outlap. He secured P2 in Q1, so very outstanding qualifying 1 result by Michael. I remember his qualifying in Season 3, he did struggle a little bit with. And he's now racing against his former teammate on track, Grantastrophe. Obviously he's racing for the Honda-powered AlphaTauri, but RSF1 Michael been joined by JJ Hudson as a teammate for Red Bull Racing. Do Do you miss your old car? I do know you quite like the Red Bull, don't you?
The Red Bull's not so bad. The AlphaTauri was a bit annoying to drive, in my opinion. It didn't suit any of my setups.
Michael's just purpled the first sector.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's purpled the first sector. We have to keep an eye on him for this lap because he's on mediums versus the softs. So BF1 Racer did that 20.039.
Yeah, that's a very good left-right section there.
That was very quick.
I do believe like the F1 esports guys go flat through there. I mean, I don't know how they do it, but somehow they do.
I do not have the confidence to take that, like, you know, but they don't even lift. They just take it full on, and I'm like, how the hell can you do that?
Oh, he's invalidated. Final corner.
Last second. That would have been a 21.5 though.
Probably wouldn't have got him through.
I think that chicane actually lost him time.
Yeah, maybe, but didn't make much of a difference in the end.
Ooh. RSF on Cookie, Celine's teammate, she did say she was cheering him on. He actually just purpled the first sector just like Michael did moments ago. Let's see what Cookie can do.
Maybe
not bad.
Cookie's
probably
not
could
getting
carry
RS
through a little bit more
on.
power. Oh yeah. He's not got it turned on.
So, magic marks on a lap. He, well, looks to be. He's in ERS mode too.
We'll come back to Cookie. He's going on board with the champion of season
Purple
1.
sector 2 for magic marks.
Driving in the team that his old rival was in, Skunk Burner.
Oh, he's
in the
invalidated.
Williams. Oh! Dangerous Dan. Second fastest.
Yep, and instantly retiring in the pits.
Feeling that's good enough for him.
I'm surprised not to see any 19s so far.
Well, the night is still young. 50 viewers. So, thank you very much for 50 viewers. See if I had a notification problem there by pausing and unpausing. Nothing yet. So, all the drivers are currently in the pits. There's no one on. Right, Vettel. Let's have a little trip down memory lane. Since, you know, you and I have commentated on season 3 together. Obviously, the season had lots of ups and downs, mainly, as we know, battle between Muddy Biscuit and Steerage. Steerage had to come out of racing for a little bit due to connection problems, but then returned late. It was a dramatic season, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a very dramatic season. I believe, I didn't commentate in the last race, but I do believe the championship went down with the last race, and I think Steerage won.
What the heck? I'm trying to get a good broadcast view of Lukey's car, but it kept on putting me back to his pit wall. I'm now on a proper broadcast screen, but when I tried to do it, it just kept on throwing me back to the blooming pit wall. I'm like, he's not in the pits anymore.
Yeah, well, you just find more glitches the more you play it, really.
I mean, Australia still has the famous glitch where the camera just looks off in the distance because the cameraman's more focused on the wildlife and the surroundings than the actual cars.
Yeah, in my opinion, there should be more camera angles in this game. Other than just the onboards and stuff, you can choose either about the nose cone cam.
I do kind of like the addition though of when you're spectating them, like, you know, on the onboard, and you turn the camera back so you can view the car behind them.
Yeah, I do like that.
It
when
does
I'm driving,
bug out though. Have you noticed that? You go, say, like, for example, I've just done an onboard with Lukey and I've looked behind him and he's been challenged by, for example, so let's say Cookie. And I look behind, Cookie's behind him, and then I move to another car who's had the exact same action, and I look behind, it will always throw you back to the first car, so it'll always throw me back to Lukey. It's a stupid bug, and I noticed it in Season 3.
Yeah, I think I know what you're on about. If you hold it down for too long, it bugs out and goes straight back to the normal screen. Purple sector for Lukey. I'm not sure on the legitimacy of it, though. It seems to be
apparently
everyone
loads
on
of
a
people are
purple.
getting them. I mean, he is on a soft, so it is actually a possibility.
That is true, but 20.0 is going to be hard to beat, though.
Well, he done the fastest first. What about the second? No, he didn't do the fastest second, so we might not be able to see the full legitimacy of that first sector, sadly. Because it even did it to the 2 medium compound runners. If they actually did legitimately do a fast first sector, then fair play to them.
I've just noticed
But it's not
Lukey's
doing it with the
using,
others.
the number 81, which I believe is Lance Stroll's reverse number.
Oh, P5.
Yeah, great lap there. I believe Josh S04 moved down, didn't he? I remember seeing him in Div 1 a couple of races at the start.
No, I think Josh S04 actually left the league for a while and returned before the driver draw. So he'd actually been gone for a while. So Josh Season 4 has actually returned on Season 4, so he can live up to his name. And there's a McLaren. I don't know if that's Money Biscuit pulling over or if he's hit the wall. Oh!
It is Money Biscuit pulling over.
Oh, okay.
Magic Marks.
First, Season
second,
1 champion.
119. I believe Sparks got one in Q1.
I'll be very careful with the amount of laps you do on these soft tyres here. Everyone's thrown caution to the wind now. No medium tyres. It's all softs. But what can they do?
Yeah,
so we're on board of
start on probably aren't the best tyre. I believe after lap 5 you can go to the end on the hard tyre. It's obviously quite a push. You have to serve in a couple places, but it certainly isn't impossible. But once you reach about the 75% wear mark, it's a bit of a lottery to whether you get a puncture or not.
Josh S04 pushing now through. I'm seeing a little bit of problems in the chat right now. If anyone has any issues, and Josh S04 has just invalidated in the very last moment, he will not be making it through into Q3 on board of Michael, who's actually just ran out of fuel. Never mind. I'm trying to find a car who's actually on a flying lap right now. Cookie has invalidated. FFR Milan has invalidated. Good God, no one in the drivers outside of the top 10 is on a lap now. Anyways, as I was saying, I've noticed there's a little bit of a conflict in the chat. If classic I was saying, and I shouldn't really be saying this because I'm not your mum, but if you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. We'll see if people are going to try and bring problems into the chat, it will be dealt with.
Yeah, the banhammer will be smacked down.
Let's try and get back to some more fun. It's the first race of the season. Let's have some fun. Let's start this off on a positive note, not on a negative note. So, yeah, drivers out. Wait.
Well, surprisingly,
oh, no, Michael.
Michael is out.
Yeah, he qualified P2. He qualified P2 in the in Q1. He must have had a problem somewhere. Shall we get him in next, actually?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. But
because
we all know Michael isn't too fond of track limits. Put it that way.
True. However, an old face taking top of the table for Q2.
Who was it?
Magic Marks.
Oh, of course,
The season one champion, the first ever crowned champion in RSF1, has still got it. He gets the top of Q2 of a 19.9. BF1 races in second with a 120.0, and Dangerous Dan in third with a 120.0, but just 0.06 of a second off of BF1 Racer. I think if I can see a rivalry right now, I think I can see Dan and BF1 Racer actually being a close contention, possibly for a possible title battle. And then going over the drivers eliminated is RSF1 Cookie in 15th, Milan in 14th, JJ Hudson 13th, Josh S04 in 12th, and Michael in 11th. Speaking of Michael, we have him in the podium, the virtual comms box with us. Welcome, Michael. Make sure your audio's included.
Hi.
Hello. Before we go on about Q2, Q1, you had a very strong start in Q1, you know, when that finished. You was in the top 3 and out-qualified BF1 Racer.
Yep.
But it seems like Q2, you had a little bit of a problem, because I know obviously the medium tyres just weren't the thing to use, because everyone had switched to softs, but what happened in your lap? Because I know you probably tried to see if you could do it as quick as a lap that you did in Q1, but was traffic a possible concern, or was the track limits being a bit too much of a problem for you? What was happening?
No, well, yeah, track limits basically. First lap in Q1 invalidated, so my first run tried to do a lap on the same set of tyres to obviously save a set for Q3, so I can have 2 goes at trying to get pole. That didn't work out, so I had to use a fresh set, and obviously, you know, fresher track obviously, and the lap just hooked up. But it meant I only had 1 set of softs left for Q2 and in Q3, so that's why I went on mediums to have maybe a lap, like so there's a lap on the board. Again, that didn't work, and just wasn't quick enough. The lap felt good. It's one of those weird scenarios where you think, oh, this is going to be good enough, and then you cross the line and it's like, oh, it's not good enough. I'm 10th. Oh no. And then it ends up 11th. So it's all right though, because it's fresh tyres. It's and I'm happy with my race pace. Yeah, should be interesting on my 11th. Should be all right.
I can vouch for your race pace, so remember that social.
Have you decided what strategy you're going to be going with?
That'd be telling now, wouldn't it?
Oh, now you're just being
I'm going with the obvious one. Wink, wink.
Well, to be fair, you have a good chance for a podium or maybe even the win, because we've seen races won from just outside the top 10 before. You know, it's just because you didn't get into Q3 doesn't mean you're out of contention for a possible win or a podium, so you never know.
I'm aiming for solid points. This is an okay track for me, but it's not one of my best, really. If I could start with a solid top 5, top 6, it should be alright. And yeah, if you want to hint to my strategy, I'm going aggressive on where I'm.
Oh, okay.
So,
Soft to medium then.
I have a feeling
Soft
that
to medium.
you might be seeing a little bit of red going into the start.
Yeah,
soft to medium.
That's my aggressive strategy.
Soft to medium. I'm not that good. Yeah, should be interesting. I'm looking to try and get solidly into the top 10 from where I'm starting at the first few laps, but let's see how that goes.
52 viewers, by the way. Thank you very much for 52 viewers. That's a strong start to the season.
Yeah, it sure is.
And then, Michael, before we let you go, big question. What's your prediction on the top 3 for Q3?
Probably I'm going to go BF1 Racer first, Little Spark second, and Dangerous Dan third.
That's different than mine. Well,
Yeah,
before I
I'd
say mine,
second that
Vettel,
one.
you're seconding that one.
Yeah, I would.
I was going to say same agreement on P1, BF1 Racer. P2, I was actually going to say Magic Marks. And then P3, I have to say Dangerous Dan.
Right, are you done with me?
Vettel, have you got any questions for him before we let him go?
Well, I don't have any more questions, but
No, we'll let you gear yourself up for your race, mate.
All right,
And you
thank
never
you.
know, we might speak to you at the end.
All right, have fun.
Thank you. Have a good one, mate.
Hippobed said Dan first, Ben second, and Luke third. I'm assuming.
Interesting. Oh,
Well,
Lukey!
Lukey 19.8.
That's a banger of a lap, and oh no, Lil Sparks has invalidated. So we'll go on board with BF1 Racer. Currently tearing it up through the mid-sector. Looking good. Oh, that was quite a cut on the curb, did you see that?
Yeah. You gotta be really aggressive in Q3 though. This is one of the tracks where qualifying is extremely important because overtaking isn't impossible with it. It's more DRS overtakes them, you know, around the outside sort of stuff.
Oh!
Yeah. The sandbags are off.
19.6! Damn.
It's about what I expected.
Yeah, same here. That's quick.
Yeah, and they're on used tyres as well. That's his
That's
second
baffled
lap.
me. Well, let's carry on with some other laps now. Lil Sparks, who was on the top of the grid in Q1, he's proved himself quite quick. He's representing the... Oh, never mind. He's representing the Schumacher helmet.
Is
let's
that Little Sparks?
Mm-hmm. He's now gone into the pits. Little Sparks, sorry. Muddy Biscuit and Stygian, I think, are going in. There's really no one on a lap right now.
No, just some cooldowns.
A little bit of a off-roading action there by BF1 Racer. I think he thought the McLaren was on a lap, so he took to the gravel to move out of the way, which was very good work from him. But sadly, the McLaren is on an in-lap, so... But he didn't want to take that risk just in case. So very good work there by the Alfa Romeo driver. Right. So now we're just waiting for some cars. Vettel, I want to talk to you about the real elephant in the room of real life F1. What do you think has happened to Sebastian Vettel? And I think you know what I'm talking about.
Ah, right. You're on about his...
He looks like he's aged incredibly since leaving Ferrari.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, Kimi Raikkonen, when he went in Ferrari, he looked very young, and then he went out old, but that's probably because for an F1 driver, he is quite old, to be fair.
I mean, like... Oh, your mic's on a little bit. There you go. I was going to say, though, like, he lost his... He lost his fringe and all that, you know, cutting his hair, and, you know, he looks... It's hard to say, to like put a pin on what to call Vettel's haircut, but we're getting a few comments saying Vettel is the GOAT by Jake Moore, and he says he's doing it for the aero benefit.
I'd say he's more trying to look like... who's that? Prince. You know, not the ginger one. William? I think he's got like that.
Oh yeah, like sort of Prince William's sort of style in terms of his hair. But the thing is it doesn't... No offence to him, but I don't think that works for Sebastian.
No,
I liked his old haircut.
True, but I imagine he'll have a hair transplant. I think that's what it's for.
Baldness intensifies. Vettel is past, it's just like his hair. Vettel, RSF1 Vettel says, quick, not for both of yous. Vettel said in an interview he cut his hair. Peaky Blinder. Good God. So everyone's got a lot of comments about Sebastian Vettel's fashion statement in terms of his haircut. And also, it was interesting to see Cognizant is now the main sponsor for the Aston Martin racing team.
Yeah, I have to say, I was really looking forward to seeing how the Racing Point Aston Martin guys were going to fare making a green, white, pink car. I have to say. A little disappointed BWT isn't the sponsor.
Yeah, especially I thought BWT was going to keep their ties with the team, but I think it's because probably BWT was more sponsoring Sergio Perez, I feel.
Yeah, it
some
seems
main
like that to
sponsors is to hang around for mainly a driver. Like, remember Santander were mainly there. I think they were there for Alonso.
I do believe they kept it the 3-year deal after Alonso left, and then they obviously put F1, and then Ferrari lost its white colouring.
Which is a bit of a shame because I did like the white. Added a nice little flair to the Ferrari.
Well, ever since he switched back to all red, it hasn't really gone well for him, has it?
Nope. Also, the Renault Formula 1 team has gone under new name, Alpine, or Alpine, however everyone wants to call it, but I'm going to call it Alpine. And
oh, there's been a crash between Breezy and Dangerous Dan.
oh,
I'll check if there's any.
oh, Magic Marks! Second place to Magic Marks. A 19.7.
It looks like that is Magic Marks qualifying over at the moment. He will not get this one.
Your mic's still a little bit. Yeah, your mic's still a little bit rustly. There you go. RS Prost says, did you know that a Chinese company wants to buy Lance Stroll's dad's shares in the team for 4.1 billion? So we might be seeing Lance leaving after the contract. It all depends on how Lance Stroll does for Aston Martin, but I mean, the only thing that he had really going for him was a podium he collected in Italy and the pole in Turkey.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of money as well.
That is true. It all depends on what happens with the deal.
Money, though.
Right.
There's
Top
a good
10
song about
so
it.
far. Oh, Daddy's Cash.
That's the one, yeah.
I heard that one. That was a pretty good one. But that made me think more of The Man with the Cash, actually. Which was actually used in Tim and Ike's meme review. By the way, everyone, please go to YouTube, search up Tim and Ike on YouTube and watch the RSF1 Season 3 meme review. The opening of that, I'm just going to say, is Quaker Oats' F3 incident for Alfa Romeo, and it makes me cry with laughter every time I watch it.
Whoa!
Little sparks! And then Ben instantly shuts him down.
These are some seriously quick times at the moment. And 19.3.
They're pushing. I think, if given the opportunity, I think they could have been pushing maybe the 18s if they could. That's not an impossibility.
Maybe.
Dangerous Dan crosses the line. P4, so outside of the top 10. But Alfa Romeo on top. The last car now who needs to do a flying lap is Breezy, who's now going into the bits. Oh.
Well, it looks like Breezy's qualifying is over then.
I was looking forward to a little bit of an onboard. Oh no, he crashed! He had no wing.
Probably the left right-hander.
More common spot for it to happen. But there's your top 10. So in P10 it was Breezy in the Renault. P9 it's the Williams of Ripley One Shot. 8th is Celine in the Alfa Romeo. Very good for someone who's trying to master the no traction, especially in a league set race. Both the McLarens are bumped together. Muddy 7th, Stidgen 6th. I have to wait for the rest of the board to come back up now so I can continue. 58 viewers, Vettel.
Yeah, that is a very good showing for tonight's race. RSF1 Vettel's quoted BF1 racer. There is no chance of me getting pole or the win.
Breezy, any incidents that you have during the qualifying / race, if you want to report it, you have to clip it and send it to the stewards afterwards. But save any issues that you have with any other driver until after the Grand Prix, please. But I'm just saying, 58 viewers for the first race of the season, Vettel. We didn't even hit 40, I think, last year. When we did the debut in season 3.
I
think we didn't hit 40.
I don't know. I've not got that good of memory. No, it's just a long wait till the start of the Grand Prix. It's looking like there's going to be no changeable conditions, which is a bit boring, but oh well.
Right, so I know I said this a lot in season 3, but because this is season 4, new season now for everyone. Anyone who's new to the stream, if you're wondering why we're waiting right now for the formation lap, it's because we are in the transition period. So this is the transition period from the moment Q3 ends and until the beginning of the formation lap. At this time, the drivers can go over their strategies, so they can go over what tyres they want to try and change to. If you're outside of the top 10, you can pick any tyre that you want to start with. Also, you can alter your fuel, so you can underfuel or you can overfuel, preferably under, if you don't want to make your car too heavy. And because Parc Fermé is enabled, you can only alter a tiny bit of your setup. So, like, maybe alter your front wing a tiny bit, but that's about it.
I believe there's the brake bias as well, but that's more of a corner by corner switch, but I don't think anyone changes it from 50% anyway.
That's a question I had for you. You know, if you changed your brake bias during a race,
yeah.
would that be done instantly, or would that be changed the moment you go into the pits?
No, that's an on-track thing. It's changed within about 0.07 seconds between you press the button or the switch. And normally in an F1 car, to quickly adjust the brake bias, there's a cog near the leg, which you would knock with your hand when you're going along a straight.
Oh, and differential, says Prost.
Oh, of course, the diff. I don't ever touch that there, because if I put it to anything over 60%, it makes the car's rear end really unstable.
Agreed.
What's your predictions for the top 3 in the race?
Right, it's hard to say. I mean, BF1 Racer in the social proved he had very, very, very good race pace. If he starts out on pole and he can get a really good launch, I think he has really strong contention for winning the Grand Prix. Yeah, Mike again, sorry, by the way. Lukey, though, has proven before in the past he has good race pace. The top 4 seem quite set, in my opinion. They seem quite good. It's hard to say, but if Ben can get a good launch, he'll take it away. UK Demons, geez, it's the first quali, guys. Calm down, lol. Enjoyed the race, then argue dibs. That's just. I think they've already gotten past that bit, UK Demons. He won't win, lol. He will throw it on purpose to make it look like he's F2, lol, says RSF1 Ice. No, I wouldn't do that personally.
No, win at all costs, what I say.
go for glory. Yeah, you know, as Ayrton Senna says, you know, if there's a gap and you don't take it, then you're not a racing driver. You know, Ayrton Senna was a person who believed if you came second, you was just the first loser. Right.
It's not wrong.
So Vettel, take it away with the formation lap.
Right, okay then. Starting in P20, we have Sink Saiju for AS. 19th, we have Bravo Container for Mercedes. 18th, we have Grunty 36 in the Alpha Tauri. 17th, we have Wolfsburg in the Renault. 16th, we have Season 1 F3 champion, RS Moronics in the Scuderia Ferrari. 15th, we have RSF1 Cookie in the Haas. 14th, we have FFR Milan. Oh, stupid Siri. 13th, we have JJ Hudson 11 for Red Bull. 12th, we have Josh S04 for Racing Point. 11th, we have RF1S Michael in the other Red Bull. 10th, we have Breezy 7272 in the Renault. 9th, we have Riplin One Shot in the Williams. 8th, we have JS Lee 94 in the Alfa Romeo. 7th, we have Muddy Biscuit in the Tango Squad. 6th, we have Stygian in the other Tango Squad car. 8th, we have Magic Marks, Season 1 F2 champion in the Williams. 14th, we have Dangerous Dan in the Mercedes. 3rd, we have Lukey 1210 in the Racing Point. 2nd, we have Little Sparks in the AlphaTauri, and on pole position we have BF1 Racer in the Alfa Romeo.
I do like the little thing you said of the Williams, the Williams. That made me laugh. It made me think of Little Britain instantly in my head.
Oh yeah, that is David Williams, isn't it?
Yeah, he did the guy who was Oh my god. For anyone who doesn't know David Williams, he formerly did Little Britain, and he's currently on Britain's Got Talent. I think he's quite funny. Also, when he did like his own little interpretation of the Queen's speech, made me laugh. Right, here we go. So for the first race of Season 4, Division 2. There we go. We get the 5 red lights. You don't get that bug, so that's a good start. 5 red lights. And it's lights out. Away we go. A bit of a delayed start there by the game. Lukey instantly gets a really good run.
Start there. Up into
Lukey's
first.
instantly passed the top 2 and took the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. So going round to turns 2. Clean start looking like it is at the moment. Pretty good. Nope, never mind. There's someone just spun out the back. That's Magic Marks.
We've got a big
and
crash.
Dangerous
Massive
Dan.
Crash. That is massive.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The quote Murray Walker, this is the worst start to a Grand Prix I've ever seen.
That is not good. That is not good. 4 cars instantly gone. Most of the field have been smashed up.
Yeah, including Magic Marks, who started 5th. We got time penalties for half of the grid.
Bloomin' hell, that is... I'm going to have to quote Murray Walker here, just like you said. That is the worst start I've ever seen in Grand Prix racing. As much as people will be demanding that to be called a restart, a load of people may have penalties, but it's still the start of the race. They can serve their penalties. It's not a restart.
All the way from 6th to 16th?
It would demand 80% of the lobby to be DNF'd. So, as much as we'd want to say a restart, it's not a restart. So, we have to keep going with it. But that was a catastrophic start. Ben's pitted. I think he's putting on hard. He's going to the end.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting for a couple of people to do. Might not be the best strategy call, but if they can get the tyres to the end, then...
Or he's going for an aggressive one. So going on the hards, going for the more preserved strategy, so he knows he's not going to be able to get attacking straight away.
Yeah, only losing 2 places, but that's because 6th downwards have had that crash.
Unfortunately, as a commentator, that was not the nicest way to start us off of the season. We'd only gotten through turns 2, and then suddenly 60% of the grid was stuck in one little spot.
I think it was more than that. It was 5th to 20th, so it's 75% of the grid.
So, yeah, it's a horrible way to start the season off with, and me personally, I would have loved to have seen all 20 drivers at least make it a few laps. So for anyone who's just joined us, who's missed up, thank you for the 61 viewers, by the way. We've just gotten through the first lap, and as we reached the end of turn 2, most of the grid from, I'd say, P13 backwards had made contact, and then there was a massive pile-up. It reminded me of Spa, the old days, when they had the really, really big crash with most of the grid. So it has really thrown the pack into a complete jumble, and we've lost Will Spur, Moronix, Dangerous Dan, and Magic Marks, and then most of the grid then collected time penalties for causing collisions with each other after being collected by stranded cars.
I don't know whether you realise this, but Sync Saiju went from 20th to 6th.
Wait, what? But she's got a penalty. She's got 10 seconds. That's not going to do her any good unless she, if she tries to go to the end, but she has to pit.
Yeah, unfortunately, she will have to pit. Softs will not do 26
Hards will
laps.
only do 21.
Oh, really? I thought
Apparently,
they could
according to Alex. 65 viewers? Where are you coming from? I mean, I'm grateful. Thank you for 65 viewers. That's incredible, but that has been the worst start I've ever seen. Do you agree?
In the time I've done commentary, it's probably up there.
Crikey.
Hey, but currently
Right.
we've got a McLaren 2-3, which is obviously good for my team at the moment, but they will have to pit again.
Well, this is good for them in a way, because obviously under safety car conditions, you're not pushing the tyres as much as you would normally. So all the drivers that have stayed on soft compound tyres can just nurse them a little bit for a few laps while they're under safety car conditions. And then I think that will initially buy them another lap or two of soft compound tyre racing. So they could probably try and pull off a soft to hard strategy if they wanted to.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. If they can try and eke out 14 laps on these tyres, the mediums will easily go to the end.
Oh, safety car is in this lap. So we will now finally get that start that you all wanted to see, because we just got robbed of it moments ago when we got into turn 2 and saw probably one of the biggest crashes I've ever seen in RSF1, and we are now moments away from getting going. Remember, the grid can't overtake each other until Lukey crosses the line. Lukey now launches from the last corner, but it doesn't look like Stygian's been too phased by it. Stygian can't overtake yet. They're going to need to wait until they cross the line. There we go. We get going once again for the Australian Grand Prix. Going down to turn 1, Lukey gets challenged by Stygian, but Stygian has to fall back. So going through turns 2, it goes Lukey, Stygian, Muddy, BF1 Race, Little Sparks, Cookie, Saiju, Breezy, Rippling One Shot, Grunty, Brave the Container, Josh,
on
F1
a move on BF1 Race. He's going down the inside. And then we'll make the move.
Running wide goes a Renault of Breezy.
Oh,
No
one shot
contact,
hit the wall, I think. Oh, he's been forced into the wall by Haas.
Look at RSF1 Cookie. He's putting pressure on the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, BF1 race having quite a slow start, but I suppose that's because he's on the hards and Little Sparks is on medium. Same with Cookie.
We've got a four-way battle leading to turns 11 and 12. Look how close they are!
So many cars nearly dropping it through there.
Michael's challenging Josh. Yep, Michael's going to send it down through turns 13. Round the outside on the racing point of Josh. Josh tries to hold him off on the inside, but he just can't do it. The other Red Bull of JJ Hudson's now putting pressure on the racing point. Brundle is, Michael, is probably going to do his teammates some good and maybe holding them up, but no, it looks like Michael's just going to carry on pushing forward. Meanwhile, we go back and forward with Brave Container, who's hit the wall, and he's spun! That is a big, big crash.
Oh, safety car.
That's a safety car and a half. Oh, careful not to break your car in the wall, mate. Good God.
Have we had a lap of racing yet?
No. Actually, no, yeah, we've had like maybe one.
Those sound like some good odds there. Oh, unfortunately, Breaktainer will have to drive this entire lap without a front wing.
And also drivers who have penalties, such as Saiju, Milan, and JJ Hudson, will have to go and serve that penalty.
I don't think it's a great idea for Saiju to come into the pits. She started on hard, so I don't think it's the correct strategy decision.
This actually played beautifully into Ben's hands, as obviously he's on the hard compound tyre and the people in front of him are on the soft, so now this has completely compromised them to maximise their soft stint. So now they've got to be thinking on putting on hards and trying to maximise a hard stint, or at least switching tyres. There's no real reason now to keep those softs on.
No, but they will fall very far into the pack. Yeah, Lukey's gone in.
Stygian as well. Obviously Muddy Biscuit, he was not going to join them because he does not want to double stack, but that's going to mean when Muddy Biscuit does go into the pits, he will fall down quite a lot of positions due to the pack being quite close together. It looks like Celine has also chosen to take the opportunity to serve her 10-second stop-and-go time penalty in the pit lane.
Hudson
She
decided to
won't be
stay out,
last,
though.
though. She's switching to the medium compound tyre.
Maybe not such a bad idea, actually, with the amount of safety cars we've had.
We're going for, I think the mediums right now will probably be a nice aggressive push. I know soft's obviously the most aggressive tyre, but hard is conservative, soft is aggressive, medium's the balance. So, you know, you can do a bit of both on those. Because there's some tracks where you will not want to pay any attention to hards because they're terrible for them.
Unless you want to go at the end of the race on an early stop.
Monaco's one of those
tend
tracks
to
that you
stay
could do
off
it, couldn't you? Like, you know, you could have like an early pit stop, like maybe lap 2 or 3, but because of how Monaco is, you could take hards to the end, couldn't you?
Yeah, you can take hards to the end, but it's extremely difficult, especially you lock up at certain corners, which with no ABS, certain corners, as soon as you turn in, it locks up on the front right, I think. I don't have a clue what the corner's called because I don't really care for Monaco, but, you know.
Braver Container, after his really bad crash there on the final corner, did not DNF, so very lucky to not to do that. We'll be now going back around again. Oh, that's not good. Saiju couldn't serve her full penalty. You can only serve 1 5-second stop and go at a time. She didn't serve the full 10 seconds.
No,
Braver
I don't think you can.
Let's go back on board with the rest of the grid up at the front. Going on from lap 7 now, which as Muddy crosses the line. Lap 7 down to from top to bottom with Muddy Biscuit on pole at the moment in the slow-moving safety car. BF1 Racer in seconds, Sparks third, Cookie fourth, Riplin One Shot 5th, Grunty 6th, Breezy 7th, Michael 8th, Josh 9th, Hudson 10th, Slee 11th, Lukey 12th, Stygian 13th, Milan 14th, Braver 15th, and Saiju has now gone into the pits. I think she's actually going to put on another set of mediums or hards to serve the rest of her penalty.
She's gone out on mediums again.
Oh yeah, she didn't actually use any, so she can get away with that. So now, Sync Saiju is now on a clean slate. She can catch up now with the rest of the grid, and now she can get her head down and do a little bit of battling.
Sidcar should be in this lap. It doesn't normally stay out for much longer than this, unless the game is glitched.
This has been such a chaotic start to the season, don't you agree?
Yeah, very much so. Only one lap of proper racing so far.
68 viewers.
Yep, Sidcar is in this lap.
Good God, where are you all coming from? 68. That's incredible. Honestly, thank you all. We appreciate this number. Love to see you all here. And we want you to stay with us to the end, because we're about to get going again with some racing. That has been our second safety car. We are now about to get underway. We can't get moving though until Muddy Biscuit gets us all going and crosses the line. So no overtaking until he gives us the green flag.
When he needs to pull out a bigger gap as possible right now.
Yes, be careful.
Being very Oh, okay then.
Oh! Looks like a little bit of a battle there between Cookie and Sparks. Cookie's trying to make a little Danny Rick switchback. Forced on the grass in turn 2.
Opening up for one shot. And Grunty, it looks like.
It's free wide down the back!
Is he going to go for it?
Round
yeah,
the
Grunty's
outside.
going round the outside. Bit of contact there. Grunty just keeping
Cookie's
it on the track.
getting his elbows out.
Thank goodness there's no one who crashed. I don't think I could deal with the safety car.
Good. God. And there goes Michael, challenging Breezy down the inside to turn 9.
Good move, bit of contact. Yeah, he's got the move done, but a bit argy-bargy there, but some hard racing, you can't beat it. Michael is looking on one shot. Oh, first of the time penalties for Michael.
Collect a penalty. We've got a battle down the back there between Saiju and Braver Container. Something's happened to Saiju though. She's fallen far back.
There's no damage, but
Or a contact between herself and Braver Container, which has resorted to her having to fall behind for a brief moment.
Muddy Biscuit blowing out a 3-second gap at the moment.
On board with Josh S04 as he's putting
Sparks,
pressure.
3 seconds.
On Rippling one shot and Braver and Brundle up ahead.
Oh,
just
just
contact.
one as well.
Oh no, that's not good.
Please don't put a safety car out. It looks like everyone's got going. Oh, Saiju going down the inside of the Braver, but not completing the move, and I think...
I saw that. Braver sort of just held the middle of the track.
Yeah,
and...
JSL's got damage.
Oh, not good. Saiju now trying to get past Jay Slee. Jay Slee pulling out the way, which is very nice of him, but unfortunately that's a very bad way for the Alfa Romeo team to start, as BF1 Racer just didn't get the chance to capitalise on the start since Muddy Biscuit just got such an incredible launch off the start.
Oh,
no,
left.
Grunty!
I'll get it.
Grunty's going to now fall down. That's essentially going to do good for Cookie. Oh, something's happened down at the back there. That's Saiju again.
I've been fighting for you, Dick!
What was that? Can you invite him back, please, Phil?
I can. I'm pretty sure I pressed invite to
Oh,
game.
Josh and JJ Hudson both challenging the AI of Grunty. A double overtake done by the pair of them. The AI sticking it in. Look at that. Lukey just took advantage of the slow-moving AlphaTauri. Everyone's trying their best. Round the outside goes Stygian on the AI.
Yellow flag.
Another
6-1.
off.
It's Braver.
It's his second on-track incident since the beginning of the Grand Prix. Right, getting back onto the battle in P4 right now because the battle for P2 has stayed pretty similar. Lil Sparks is in third, Cookie fourth. They're both staying with BF1 Racer because do remember he is on hard compound tyres, so it's not like he can really push right now. He's preserving those since he pitted on them earlier. Muddy Biscuit, however, he can try and pull the...
Oh,
Ben!
BF1's in the wall.
He caught the grass. That's not good because do remember that in some racing games when you catch a tiny bit of grass it just pulls your car into the wall. Ben's now hit the wall.
Oh, and
which
a
means
3-second
provisionally-
time penalty as well.
Provisionally right now Lil Sparks is leading the Grand Prix.
Provisionally, yeah, but Little Sparks will have to pit again, and Muddy can go to the end. So this has worked out very nicely for Muddy. I do believe, yeah, Cookie will have to hit as well. Josh, S04 does not though, on his hard compound tyre.
Fallen down to 10th place now, BF1 Racer, after that unfortunate contact with the wall. It happens, and I know he's not going to be pleased with that. This has certainly been a chaotic start, because at first we think it's one person, then it's another, and then just stuff is happening left, right and centre, because now Catastrophe, or Grunty36 is now overtaken BF1 Racer. Stygian. Oh, Stygian on the grass as Lukey just throws him off a little bit. And it looks like we've had another off at turns 2.
It's Braver.
That's Braver Container.
Oh, he's got damage again. Oh, Marks is left. Oh wait, Marks is out.
This has been a chaotic Grand Prix. I've never seen such a chaotic Grand Prix in all my time of commentating. And here we go, DRS assistance for Breezy on Josh. Going into turn 3, is Josh going to try and make it a challenge? No, he's not. He's going to just... No, not Josh, sorry. Breezy going to challenge Josh. He's not. He's going to hold fast for just a moment. This is gripping racing.
Yeah, it sure is at the moment. Cookie's 2 tenths behind Little Sparks. I imagine Little Sparks will have to defend coming into Sector 3.
Oh, late move, JJ Hudson down the inside.
Has he got the move done? Oh, contact.
He's going to... Oh, they touched. It's free wide. No, don't do this, please. Free wide, guys. It's crazy. Oh my God, and Breezy managed to get back out in front. What a great defence.
Is he going to send it? No.
Oh, that Red Bull is eager. The Red Bull is sick of being behind the yellow Renault, but he just has to bide his time.
Yeah, sure does. Muddy Biscuit is in the pits for hard tyres, it looks like. No, mediums.
Oh, bold.
Must be going for the aggressive strategy I was talking about. It's not the medium. I do think they do 16 laps.
JJ Hudson is really keeping Breezy honest. And that's a safety car
VSC.
again. Let's go on board with one of the Alfa Romeos. They will be coming up to the wreckage of the Mercedes car.
The Braver crash. Was it coming into the pits?
In the pit wall. He was trying to go into the pits and crashed into the pit wall.
I see. It's not been a great day for Braver Container, has it?
nor Mercedes. Oh, what is Lil Sparks and Cookie doing? This is a virtual safety car. They're still driving like it's a race.
Are they? Oh, because it's VSC.
Yeah, they both just got penalties. No, they've got 3 seconds. And Cookie takes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix.
They're not in the position at the moment to win the race. Their tyres are a bit older than everyone else's. But currently, I believe Josh is in contention of winning it.
Josh is in contention. He can take the tyres to the end.
Same with Breezy, so it's up to Stygian and Muddy Biscuits come through the pack to try and chase them down.
Back to the battle in the midfield. The battle between Josh, Breezy, JJ Hudson, Lukey, and FFR Milan. Look at a lot of them. They're all just staying together since the safety car restart. It's a really big train. You have to give props to these drivers, Vettel, because there's one thing just being stuck in a train, but when you're giving it everything you've got while in a massive pack, that's really scary. Oh, look at Stygian. He's going to try and make the move round the outside, going to turn 9.
Lock up for Lukey. Might be a bit exposed on the outside. Nope.
Oh, no, he's shut the door on the McLaren.
Oh, wow. Lukey's got 4% rest. It's going to leave him very open to Stygian's attack.
He's doing everything to defend.
And
Stygian collects a 3-second time penalty. Oh, Stygian has got the ERS though on his side, unlike Lukey, who has got none. So I think we might be seeing a swap of positions here between the McLaren and the Racing Point. Michael collects another 3-second time penalty. And this Grand Prix has just baffled me from start to now. DRS and ERS assistance. Not quite yet.
Hudson goes into the back of Breezy. I don't think it's picked up any damage though.
Oh, Stygian gets a really good run through turns 2.
Gonna go
side by
round
side,
the
he's going to go
outside
round
of
the
Lukey.
outside.
He's looking to force him wide, of course. Oh, Stygian nearly spins there.
What a
No
save!
damage. And it's leaving the door open for FFR Milan.
Oh, Lukey receives 3-second time penalty. Oh, these guys are giving it everything they've got here.
Yeah, they sure are. Cookie's
These guys
built out a decent lead over Cookie at the. Cookie's built a decent lead over Little Sparks at the moment. Trying to break that DRS with 1 second window.
Josh is keeping the pack honest though. They're staying with him. But he's managing to hold them off. That's the even bigger thing. What's Josh's battery like?
79%.
So he can essentially just put his foot down when he feels he's under pressure, like with the battery. Oh, we've got a little bit of a battle here going on. I think it's Lukey on JJ Hudson. No, not quite.
Bit too far back, but he's got a very nice run through the first corner and he's all over the rear of the Red Bull, making slight contact, looking for that inside line, but it looks like Hudson's just going to force him out wide a little bit. Bit of curve there. Oh right, there's a 9-second gap between Josh at the moment.
All back on board with Sparks and Cookie. Sorry to cut in there. Looks like Little Sparks is probably making himself ready. Because look at the battery. They both got a full battery. And they're fighting each other like crazy.
Yeah, I think they know that if they've got a chance of winning this race, they've got to save the battery when they come through the field. It's not going to be as painful.
Little Sparks is expending some of his battery to close the gap back up to Cookie, because if there's anything Sparks can't afford to do is lose out to Cookie.
Definitely not. Sparks and Cookie must be praying for a safety car, because I believe the 9-second gap will...
Oh, there's been a big pile-up.
Oh no.
It involves Breezy, JJ Hudson. There's contact somewhere in the midfield.
It's Breezy, I think. No, not Muddy Biscuit. I think it was Breezy and Hudson. Yeah, it was.
It looks like Lukey had made the overtake somewhere, but contact was made. Back on board with the leaders. Battle that has not stopped since the start. Oh, Stygian! And a turn 3 on the grass. Oh, it's like Lukey's really keeping his shoulders out, not making it easy for anyone to make the pass. Now you got the Ferrari of FFL Milan.
Who's just picked up a 3-second time penalty, as we mentioned his name.
Now you got Muddy on Grunt, down the back there. He tried to make a little move going into turns 9 and 10. Not going to. 4 lap hole mediums versus 15. It's pretty one-sided at this point here. DRS and the ERS. Grunty is a sitting duck for the overtake. That's going to be commenced now by Muddy Biscuit. Oh, Grunty's going to stick it though. Keeps it. Forces him back. Muddy Biscuit has been given no quarter here in terms of this battle. He may have the fresher tyres, but Grunty's going to make him work for that.
Yeah, Muddy's been extremely consistent this race, and we know what he's like with the penalties. And quite a lot of drivers ahead of him have got them, so it might bring up quite a few positions. And
Nicely done though by
consistency is key.
Claims. Oh, sorry, that's Muddy Biscuit. I looked at the wrong McLaren. Stygian's took Lukey.
Oh yeah, he has. Stygian will want to be getting by Josh as soon as possible, because Josh is also on those quite old hard tyres.
Right now, it does look. It could be a Ferrari winning. JJ Hudson's retired in the pits. He feels enough's enough now. That is the end of his day.
Yeah, there's currently
a load of teams.
10-second gap between third and second.
Oh, the Racing Point are looking strong today. Looks like the AI of his car is coming back out onto the track, but it'll pull into the nearest slip road.
Yeah, it's really annoying when it does that. I don't believe it goes south, does it?
Oh! Cookie reacted very well. I had to go up to them to see what was going to happen because they were approaching that AI quickly.
Stygian's got a really good run on Josh. He's going down the inside in turn 4. Or was it turn 3? Turn 3. Getting nice and light on the brakes. Forcing Lukey wide though.
A double overtake. So that means provisionally, at the moment, Stygian could win this.
Yeah, he sure could, but penalty situation, he would still be behind Josh S04.
Well, it actually depends. Has Cookie and that lot pitted yet? No, yeah, Cookie and Sparks are pitted.
They won't be able to go at the end though. They pitted onto the mediums quite early on, so they will be boxing soon, I imagine, for soft tyres.
Muddy could win, maybe. Depends on the penalties and how close he can get to the rest of the pack, because Josh is penalty free right now. So in terms of the penalty battle, Josh will win it if Josh can close it.
Top 2, they're in the pits now.
Oh, so now we're going to finally see the change in hand in terms of the lead, as Cookie and Sparks a valiant effort and holding the lead for as long as they can. Stygian, the Dutch driver, takes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix, and I think he's hoping to stay there.
Muddy has undercut both of them.
Muddy Biscuit, a very good one, and he's got those fresh tyres.
He's currently looking at a podium in his current position with the no penalties.
Most definitely. The only thing is he needs to make sure he overtakes Josh. That's the only person he needs to make sure he's ahead of to guarantee a race win. A strong start McLaren will need. 72 viewers.
This is unheard of for a starting Grand Prix.
I know. I mean, I would have thought you would have gotten like 72 viewers for a driver draw, but a Grand Prix? I'm honoured.
Yeah, I think the driver draw hit 102, I think, at one point.
So currently right now, looking at the penalty situation, Stygian's got 3 seconds, Milan's got 8, Lukey's got 6, Grunty's got 6, Cookie's got 3, Sparks has got 3, Michael's got 6. Oh, FFR Milan, he's just overtaken Josh a little bit argy-bargy, touching
Around the
contact.
outside.
And that makes the Racing Point concede, but that could be a big moment there because Milan holding up those Racing Point, it might buy Stygian that ability to get away and take the lead and keep it, basically.
Now Mini Biscuit had to get by the what I would say is a Racing Point wall at the moment. That is Lukey 12-10.
Muddy's got to get some time overtaking done because if he doesn't do it soon, he'll soon be caught up by the previous race leaders of RSF1 Cookie and Lil Sparks.
Yeah, can't really afford to get into a race with them. He needs Lukey and Josh as a bit of a barrier because they've been very difficult to overtake so far of the Racing Points.
Not what you need. Right now they're both playing beautifully in terms of team play. Lukey keeping Josh ahead, prioritising his teammate, and both of them doing their absolute best to stop that McLaren from getting by. Oh, there you go. Muddy Biscuit is now finally going to challenge. Oh, the Racing Point again sticking his shoulders out, but this time aggressive defending almost forced him into the wall.
I do not imagine Muddy Biscuit will be very happy with that sort of defending.
No, I have to admit that if he's making a move down the inside and he's nearly up beside you, you don't shut the inside line, you leave him the space. That's a very dangerous defence there.
Slightly onside.
But luckily, Muddy's not got damage, so he can still push on. Cookie's now collected the fastest lap of the race. That's an extra point in his pocket if he can keep it going to the end.
Currently under the penalty situation, I do think Josh will win.
He will do at this rate. If Stygian can't open up the gap, Josh will do it. But the thing is Josh has done 20 laps. He's got to do another 7 more. Will it's hard to last that long because he pitted on the very start of the race.
He'll definitely be in puncture territory within about a couple of laps, if not now. Because Josh has been doing some aggressive driving with it, same with his teammate Lukey. How long has Lukey been on?
Lukey might be alright though.
Yeah, Lukey did 16 laps. He should be able to go at the end on those. Here comes Muddy Biscuit around the outside.
That time, Lukey just had the speed to keep that McLaren back.
Cookie is only 2 seconds behind now of Muddy Biscuit. Yeah, the main problem for Muddy Biscuit not being able to overtake Lukey is Lukey has got DRS on his teammate.
And just as what Muddy's now going to fear, look who's now caught up behind him. The one thing, the potential podium sitter...
Oh, Rippling one shot has crashed.
No, he's retired in the pits, I think.
Oh yeah, it's in the pits. I see in the map now.
Tell you what, those Racing Point have stayed together. They're like in sync.
Yeah, they sure are. A wall of pink. Cookie is now in DRS range of Muddy Biscuit now. So it'll be a 6-way battle for the lead at the moment.
This issue with Muddy being stuck behind the racing points and now being challenged by the Haas, I think Muddy's opportunity on winning the Grand Prix is now rapidly going away, because remember, it's medium tyres that are 11 laps old versus softs that are 4 laps old. It's definitely going to play into the soft compound tyres' favour here. Can Muddy Biscuit defend as much as he can? He's actually going to challenge around the outside on Lukey going into turn 3. Lukey makes contact on the inside. They've been making so much contact here that... Oh, Cookie forcing himself on. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. No surprise there. It looks like... I know Lukey's trying to play for his teammate here, but the amount of... I can't even count the amount of contact that he's had with Muddy in terms of bashing wheels.
Yeah, other races as well. He's had quite a lot of contact this race.
I mean, I'm pretty sure what happened to JJ Hudson might have been resorted to contact from Lukey. I have no idea.
I don't think Stygian's tyres will go to the end. He's done 18 laps on those mediums now.
Cookie's now received another time penalty, and Muddy Biscuit didn't get a good run going through turns 12. And it looks like RSF1 Cookie's going to go round the outside, and he's going to try and do it to the McLaren. He does it round the outside, and RSF1 Cookie moves into 5th position.
Now Cookie has to contend with the same thing Muddy Biscuit's been trying to do for the last couple of laps now.
The gap to leader. The gap to leader, like from P1 to P6, is 3.4 seconds. And now here's the thing we have to really look out for, because both the hard compound runners have now got an aggressive soft runner rapidly approaching. Is this a battle they're going to try and hold on? Oh my god, no, we're seeing a battle. The racing point! They've made contact!
Has cost Josh a position, it has. Yeah, he's been eaten up by Muddy Biscuit as well.
What I was looking at was possibly going to be racing point good coordination. Unless Josh has got a puncture.
No, Josh does not have a puncture. It was just a bit of being knocked off the track.
And that's worked well for Muddy Biscuit now. Muddy Biscuit's now ahead of him.
Well, this really plays into the ball pit of RSF and Cookie now. He's much faster than Lukey.
Yeah, but his penalty zones.
Racing points.
Oh, there's contact again!
Yeah, I wouldn't go for that. Cookie.
Little Sparks is overtaking Josh now. Whatever happened there between the racing point, it's definitely going to be words now between them, because Josh has been, I think, Lukey making that move might have costed Racing Point the opportunity to take the lead in the Constructors' Championship for the start of Season 4. RSF1 Cookie moves into 3rd position, but Lukey gets a really good run off turns 2. But due to the soft compound tyres versus the hards...
No.
Oh, no. He's not going to. I think Stygian's tyres are falling off now, because FFR Milan is now caught up to him.
Yeah, Stygian's tyres are well into the puncture territory now. Oh, he's picked up another time penalty.
Oh my god.
I think it's all but confirmed, unless anything happens to Muddy Biscuit, that he will be on the podium.
The thing is he going to win? The gap between himself and the car in the lead is 2.4 seconds. As it stands, Muddy Biscuit will win the Grand Prix if he can keep this pace with those cars in front.
Yeah, he's also got to make sure he doesn't race Little Sparks too hard, costing him that vital time that he needs.
This is as much as it's had its really big share of crashes, this has been a fascinating Grand Prix.
Yeah, I mean, it's a top 6 battle for the race win at the moment, and I don't really have a clue who's going to come out on top.
Oh, there we go, the battle for the lead. FFR Milan down the inside on Stygian. Ferrari takes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix.
RSF1 Cookie's going down the inside of Stygian.
Round the outside, gets it done. And now Cookie's playing the real card here. He's now going to try and challenge the Ferrari for the lead. It is soft compound running tyres versus hard. Milan is defending aggressively, but fairly. He's not going to make it easy for Cookie, even though Cookie's got those soft tyres. Look at the way he's sitting on the back of his gearbox.
It's not wise to make the move just yet. You want the DRS, preferably. Milan will be completely defenseless against it. And he's got less DRS, worse tyres, and a worse compound.
Oh! Lukey is back in third position.
Has
Money
Stidgen got a
Biscuit and
puncture?
Stidgen have changed hands.
He just dropped behind Little Sparks and Muddy Biscuit.
Has he got a puncture?
Doesn't look it.
No, I think he just had a poor run there.
Oh,
and
Cookie's
Cookie's
got the
done
lead.
it. Cookie took the lead at the end of turns 13.
If he wants to win the race, he's going to have to push as hard as possible for these next 2
Currently
laps.
right now, Muddy Biscuit will win the Australian Grand Prix and lead the Drivers' Championship for the start of Season 4. Unless Cookie can pull up away a massive gap, but those tyres, they're going to soon approach that window and falling off. The Ferrari and the Racing Point are on equal terms in terms of the DRS train and tyres. This is... this has been fascinating.
Yeah, it sure has. Lukey's
It's had its
all
fair
over
share
the
of
back of
controversy.
Milan.
Oh, Vettel take us away with this one.
The Milan Lukey battle. Lukey's getting a very nice exit from there. A little bit too far back at the moment, but if he can get a nice run through the left right-hander, he's almost certainly going to overtake the Ferrari. Does Milan have DRS? He doesn't. Neither of them have got any DRS, so I think Lukey isn't going to gain that much. No, it can't be done this lap. He's got 3 more easy overtaking opportunities to come now.
And here we go.
Oh, Little Sparks
Oh!
down the inside. Oh, we got Stidgen. He's got a puncture.
Stidgen's finally got a puncture. That's the rear right puncture. Bad luck for McLaren. He did take that gamble and try and take the far tire. Oh, he's spun in the pit lane.
Oh, it's
And he's reset the track.
Was that him or the game though?
That might have been the game there. If you have an issue in the pits, the game. Oh, Lukey hits the back of Stidgen. No, Stidgen and Milan. That was the game. That wasn't him resetting the track. So that would not affect him in terms of penalties. However, Cookie is pulling away.
Yeah, I think he's won the race now. Muddy Biscuit's more than 3 seconds behind.
Oh God, this could be massive. Oh. Milan and Lukey are still fighting like crazy. This is the battle for second place. This is the final opportunity to do it. He's got the DRS, but no DRS assistance.
No.
He's gonna do it. No, he's not.
Yellow flag sector 1, is that Stidgen? It is.
And here we go, on board with RSF1 Cookie, who has had such an interesting race, predicted by his teammate Celine that he would win the Grand Prix. And to begin the season for Season 4 in RSF1, Cookie wins the Grand Prix. Milan second, Lukey third, and
Muddy Biscuit
wins.
But
Cookie gets second.
6 seconds.
Josh does get third.
I still think there'll be words between him and Lukey after the race, because he's probably cost him the win there.
I imagine so. We'd have to ask him, obviously, hopefully clean language. But for 73 viewers to watch the end of the first race of Division 2. What a race this has been. This has been tremendous. Now we're just waiting on Sink Saiju and Stidgen to bring their cars home. Stidgen's still driving with that puncture.
Yeah, he wasn't able to box on the second to last lap, was he?
Imagine how harsh that is for Racing Point to have capitalised on possibly leading the Constructors' Championship for the start.
No, I think they're
no
drawing.
team orders in place.
They're drawing with a Muddy Biscuit at the moment.
And as now Stidgen limps. It's oh! as one McLaren prospers, one doesn't. Stygian knew the risks of taking that car to the end with that puncture. Oh my God! I have a feeling if anything happens, he's going to get disqualified.
Yeah, probably. I don't think reversing like that on track's illegal. I think it's going backwards.
I mean, it feels like cars, except for he's not really... Look, he's reversed so much, even the leaders have caught up to him.
Yeah.
Hello, boys.
Has he been lapped yet? No, just...
Congratulations to McLaren for securing the first race win of the season. RSF1 Cookie, driver of the day, according to the game. Very strong drive from Cookie. Tell you what, that has really opened my eyes to what this season could deliver. That has been incredible. And is it okay, Vettel, if you could invite the top 3 into the party? If I'm correct, Cookie also collected a fastest lap of the race.
Indeed he did.
78 viewers. This is staggering. Yeah, Cookie secured the fastest lap. So here we go from Season 4 of the Division 2 in RSF1. Muddy Biscuit takes the win from P7. He gets the win on the first race of the season, clean, no penalties. So well done to Muddy Biscuit in first. Second place is RSF1 Cookie in the Haas. Third is Josh, who managed to hold on to a very good drive there and secure on the podium after contact of his teammate. Lil Sparks 4th, Lukey 5th, Milan 6th, Jacely 7th, Michael 8th, Grunty 9th, BF1 Racer 10th, Breezy 11th, Saiju 12th, Stygian 13th, One Shot 14th, Hudson 15th, Bravard Container 16th, Will Spur 17th, Moronix 18th, Dangerous Dan 19th, and Magic Marks rounds off the grid. And that has been a race to remember. One of the worst starts I've seen in RSF1 of all time, in my opinion. One of them, not the worst, but one of them. And then after catastrophe at the start, such great racing gets delivered just soon after. Vettel, I'll do third, you do second, I'll do first.
Sounds good to me.
Right. Can all drivers make sure that they've included their audio in the party tab, please? So, first of all, Josh, Season 4, you now finally live up to your name. S04, Season 4. Had a bit of a bumpy start, though, with that contact of your teammate, but you've managed to deliver a podium on the first run for Racing Point. I imagine, even with that contact, you must be pleased with that.
Yeah, not bad for a fifth reserve in Tier 2. But clearly, we could have got 1-2 there with Racing Point, but it is what it is.
I imagine there will be talks, though, with the team. I think the team leader probably won't be too pleased with that, because that could have been a maximising opportunity there, as you said, a possible 1-2 for the Racing Point team. It would have been difficult, though. Maybe it would have been a 1-3 because you had Muddy keeping you honest.
Yeah, Muddy, he was really quick on the mediums, like extremely quick. There was nothing you could do, but I had to just keep it in there. Lap one hard all the way to the end, 27 laps, and they went the distance.
You had a horrible job ahead of you today, well, behind you. You was driving in front of a pack of at least 7 cars, and you kept them behind you. And the best part was, though, is you had battery to spare. You could expel that extra energy just to keep them behind you. How was you feeling with that?
I was being calmed down. I was in a party with Carling, who was in the league before, and WR Peanut. They were watching the race, engineering me the whole way, telling me to save my tyres. Peanut's actually the one that got me through to the end on my tyres, telling me what percentage I should be on certain laps. But I'm here now, and I had DRS to spare, and unfortunately we made contact, me and Lukey, but it is what it is. Still a P3 podium. I'm happy to be back in.
Yeah, it's a very good, strong return to RSF1. So first of all, welcome back, and also congratulations on P3. I have a feeling, though, this is not going to be your first podium, and it's not going to be your first and only. Sorry, I reckon we'll be seeing you more.
Hopefully.
And now, Vettel, I'm going to pass it over to you to interview RSF1 Cookie, who's had such an interesting race today.
Yeah, so Cookie, you obviously didn't have the best qualifying, but you definitely made up for it in the race. Do you have any idea what happened with that crash at turn 2? All I saw was the pilot.
Yeah, I kind of went into turn 2, and then all of a sudden it was basically Tesco's car park. Everybody was stopped, and then I just had a bit of contact, I think, with Breezy, which took my front wing off, so I had to pit early. And thanks to Sink Saiju, who's my teammate, who gave me pretty much an excellent strategy to be able to do what I did today, and pulled it off really, and I'm happy with the result.
Yeah, you had to overtake a lot of cars to get into the position to maybe win the race. You made some great moves. Which was your standout for the race?
What did you say?
Which overtake was your personal favourite from the race?
I mean, to be honest, from my point of view, probably one of my best races I've probably pulled off in ever since I started league racing. So I can't really say one was the best, but Muddy did well, to keep that gap, and in the end, obviously, I lost the race to Muddy because penalties. But at the end of the day, it was a really good race, and I'm happy with the result. And I came into the season really not expecting much. I was thinking maybe like P10, if that, at the end of this, and I'm happy with the result. I'm speechless, really.
Yeah, congratulations on your podium, and I'll hand it to
Thank you.
Primus Gaming to interview P1.
Right, Muddy Biscuit, a man who I am familiar with in the podiums interviews, but today, you managed to get a nice, strong start for Season 4. Especially, it's very good work, especially the fact that a McLaren beat you in Season 3 in terms of the drivers, and a McLaren is now bringing you to victory. So, how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I've definitely joined the enemy per se, but yeah. Actually, Australia isn't really one of my strongest tracks. I came here hoping for maybe sort of 8th, 10th qualifying, and then hoping for maybe a top 5 in the race. I think I qualified 7th, and then got very lucky to avoid the crash at turn 2. I went on the left-hand side of the track, and I think the time I was there, the crash was happening on the right-hand side. So I got lucky to avoid that. Then my plan was always to go soft to hard, pitting about lap 9, but obviously the second safety car then sort of messed me up, knowing I was going to drop to the back and have to stack behind Stygian. So I took the gamble to go on the mediums at the end. I don't know what happened to the safety car restart, which I did. I think I was about a second and a half in the lead already by the start-finish line, and then just had to do qualifying lap after qualifying lap. The same again after I pitted, until I then started catching the likes of Lukey, Grunty, Cookie, or all those drivers who were sort of, there must be a queue of about 5 or 6 cars I was catching, not knowing the ones, the likes of Stygian and Josh, the ones at the front of the queue, how many penalties they had. So I know I had to at least keep trying to overtake, hoping that they would have some penalties, but luckily I think Josh had a half spin, Stygian had his tyre issues, and I think Little Sparks on the last lap or second to last lap had a half spin as well, so luckily able to come across the line in 4th, but with no penalties, got a win.
And it was very good for you. Well, sadly, as you mentioned about Stygian, as I said at the end before Stygian crossed the line backwards, one McLaren prospers, but the other one does not. Because unfortunately, Stygian took a very, very risky gamble trying to take over 25 laps on those mediums, and then his puncture arrived, and then he crashed in the pit wall, and the game forced him back out on the track. So what could have been a possibility for McLaren to maybe take the lead in the constructors, it might have been if that didn't happen to Stygian, but it happens in league racing. But still, mate, congratulations! You now currently lead the championship in Division 2. And are you thinking you can keep this performance going for the rest of the season?
Obviously, out of the drivers who left, I was the highest finishing last season. I was still just left, but I know we've got the likes of Josh, Moronix, and Ben who have all come back, as well as the likes of Dan, Celine, Little Sparks, Evo, who have all come up from F3. So I think, even though I was second last season, I don't think I have any guarantee of success this season. I just hope to continue on like I did today in Australia with the good results, and hopefully my consistency will bring home at least a run and a battle for a title, at least, or if not the drivers, hopefully with the decision's help, the constructors.
Well, a strong drive today, mate. You, again, clean, no penalties, even though you were stuck in the middle of a massive train. So well done to you there, mate. A strong drive. And Vettel, once again, another great race. And sadly, this is not permanent. It's only really with you as reserve. Hopefully, we'll be able to have more races like this together in the Commons box, because that was fun.
Yeah, F2's always been a great division. I enjoyed commentating on it last year, watching the title battle sway side to side. It's always a pleasure commentating with you, Primus, obviously.
Same here, mate. Always happy to have you with me. Sadly, as I said, it's not permanent, but I really do hope we get to commentate again together in the season, at least a couple more times. I do feel we need it.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you very much, everyone. That has been the season opener for RSF1 Season 4. Not just for Division 2, but for the entire league. So, a great opener. 78 viewers we peaked at. I cannot believe of how many viewers we actually peaked at. And now it's at the very last moment to see who was going to win in such an intense battle. So, thank you very much to all those viewers that came and tuned in. And a catastrophic start, but this race has had the highs and the lows, and that's racing in general, not just league racing. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. If you want to see more Melbourne action, please tune in tomorrow at 8 PM for Division 3 as they duke it out around Albert Park. If you want to see more F2 action, tune in next Sunday when we'll be taking the cars around Sakir. But until then, everyone, take care, stay safe, adhere to social distancing and your government guidelines, follow lockdowns, please. And, we're getting vaccines now, so myself included, I've recently been vaccinated. When that can happen, we can all start going back to normality. But until then, please follow the rules, don't be silly, and we'll get through it. Thank you very much, and take care.
Bye.